One thing about me, it doesn't take much to irritate me. I hate to say it, probably not my best trait, but one thing about me, it does not take a lot to make me upset. Having to take your project off of the needles so that you can try it on, gotta be in the top 5 worst knitting experiences ever, and especially if it's like a significant amount of stitches, like you're making, a cardigan, or if you're using itty bitty teeny tiny yarn like this one. Just the thought of having to pull off 200 stitches to try it on, and it's like, oh my god, you have to. Sometimes you literally have to, and there's no way around it, and especially if you want your garment to fit. But I never enjoy it. And that's actually, I think, the reason why I'm low-key dragging my feet about this project. Every single time I think about like, oh my gosh, my Mew top, I'm probably able to move on to the top, but I should take the stitches off first. Oh my girl, we ain't doing that. Taking the stitches off the needles, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I hate how necessary it is. Needles that do not have the size on them, like engraved on the side. What is it called? The Addy? Is it called Addy? I always want to say Aldi, like the grocery store. The Addy needles, the ones that have the blue cord. I think I'm actually using Addy needles right now. That have the blue cord. They print the needle size on the cable. And I'm like, first of all, whose genius idea was that? Whose idea was it to print the needle size on the cable? I feel like at that point, like, don't even include the needle size. You're wasting ink. You might as well just not even have them on there. A couple of times I have thrifted Addy needles and you have no idea what the size is. And I'm just like, first of all, it should be illegal. It should be illegal to manufacture knitting needles that don't have the sizes engraved on them. And I know you're thinking, friend, the fix for that is so simple. When you buy the needle, save the packaging and leave them in there, or put your own size on there, or organize them better. Maybe I could. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I could. But then also it's like, if the size was engraved on it, friend, I wouldn't have to do all that. I wouldn't have to put my own size on them. And especially, it's like these needles don't be cheap. These Addy needles was not cheap. Y'all couldn't spend a couple extra cents engraving them on there. Like, come on now, we got to do better. We need to bring shame back. We need to start shaming these companies, because it's like, what do you mean? What do you mean the needle size is not on there? And at first I didn't even notice. When I first started knitting, I didn't even notice, because I just had like 1 or 2 sizes. I could kind of remember which projects I used for which needles, and so the needle size didn't matter that much. But once my collection started to grow, and especially when I started getting like 0.5 sizes, they all look the same when you put them in there. And I'm just like, and it's not even like, oh, it's just Addy who does this. I feel like literally all of my needles, except for the ones with the red cord, not the Chicago ones, the Chiago. The way that a lot of these companies feel like putting the size of the needles on the needles is optional is absolutely unacceptable. I know I said I was going to knit while I talk about my pet peeves, but we're only on the second pet peeve and I'm already getting hot. So your knitting is so good. Have you ever thought about selling that? I feel like on one hand, when someone says you should sell those or you should start a business, they're coming from a good place. Like it's like your work is so good, you should share it with other people. I'm sure somebody would pay money for it. But it's really annoying, because these are also the same people where it's like, when you try to sell your knits, they're like, oh, nobody would pay that price. That's too much. I know y'all are not gonna wanna pay $500 for a cardigan, and so I save me and you the time by not even bothering, right? And so like when you kind of try to explain that to people who don't knit, like, oh, like, okay, like I understand what you're saying, but most likely people are not gonna wanna pay my prices and it takes me a long time, and like you try to be reasonable and tell them reasons, like, oh, thank you, but no thank you. They kind of like double down, like, whoa, why not? Why not? It's so good, why not? And it's like, first of all, not only do you not knit, but you've never started a business. And it's like, I know they're coming from a good place most of the time, but it's so annoying. I've personally never tried to sell my knits, but I can imagine it's even more annoying when you hear like so often, you should sell those. And then you try to sell those, and then the same people complain about the prices. And it's like, friend, this is literally why I don't sell my knits. I know y'all used to the Shein, Temu, Amazon fast fashion, but baby over here, we're using 100% wool. I've been working on this knit for almost a year at this point. And you think I would sell it for $30? No, not even $30. I feel like there's people online who complain about handmade stuff being $30. And you think I'm just going to sell this knit for $10? The delusion is insane. You know what? It's okay to just knit for fun. I know in 2026, we feel like everything that we do has to be commodified. Everything that we do has to make a profit. And it's like, Bring back doing stuff for fun, please. Bring back doing stuff for fun. I feel like sometimes when you tell people that you just do something for fun, they don't get it. They're like, what do you mean you do something for fun? You can make money. Why would you do it for fun when you can make money? And it's like, you'll never get it. Italian bind off, if you're watching this video right now, I hate you. I hate how the finish of the Italian bind off looks so good. Because the process is an actual nightmare. I haven't made that many things that have an Italian bind off for very good reason. I remember the first time I did it was when I made my cardigan number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and like I had to watch the video minimum 5,000 times. And then even still after that, I did not understand it. And to this day, when I wear the cardigan, I can see on the cuffs like where I messed up on the bind off, and I was like, girl, we're never gonna be cool. You're never gonna be her. I mean, you are her. Let me not lie. You are her, but I hate you. What I hate most about sleeves is that you have to make 2. That's why I'm like low-key anti-making socks, or like I'm not in a rush to make socks, because it's like if I could only make 1, if I only had to make 1, maybe I would try and I would tackle. But it's like the fact that you have to do 2. Those projects where you're very adamant about not losing track of the stitches, like, okay, this is how many stitches that we have, this is how many that we need, and like you're constantly, you know, like counting to make sure it's not off at the end, and then in the end it still somehow ends up being off. Oh my gosh, I'll quit the entire project. Your stitch count being off is like, I don't know, sometimes that feels like the end of the world to me. I know some people are like, oh, I just add a stitch here and there and I just like decrease if I have to, and it's like if it's a project that I've low-key been messing up for like a long time, I'll do that too, and I'll start cutting corners. But I'm kind of a perfectionist, and especially like when it comes to my knit. Okay, wait, don't even get me started. Same transaction, different dye lot. The first time that this happened to me, I swear I was like literally seeing red. I understand, you know, that different dye lots exist, and it's like if you buy, you know, your yarn at one time, you're gonna get one dye lot, and then, you know, there's the likelihood of you getting the exact same dye lot if you order the yarn later. You know, like that might not happen. Most likely it won't happen. There's gonna be a slight variation. But if I order the yarn at the same time and it's a different dye lot, don't piss me off. And of course, I know that you can alternate the rows and you can conceal them. But first of all, it's like, who wants to work with 2 balls of yarn? Like, let's be for real. Not me. I ain't trying to work with 2 balls of yarn. And then it's like I bought them at the same time. And so like low key, I feel like can I get a heads up email? Can I get a little courtesy note like, hey friend, I know these literally look like 2 different colors even though they're the same yarn. It is what it is. Thanks for supporting our business, XOXO something. I literally had no idea that was possible. And when it happened to me, it's been like 2 or 3 years at this point, and I'm literally never gonna get over it. I don't know if this one is a hot take, but really long tutorial videos and then there's no written pattern. And I'm not even saying, you know, that you have to do like an official, like, friend, put it in a note. Take a picture of your handwritten note. First of all, people who make video tutorials, much love to you. If you're creating something that's meant to be recreated, it should be as easy for the other person to recreate, you know, as you can possibly do. And it's like, obviously some people are gonna complain and they like literally want you to teleport. They want you to jump through the laptop screen and sit there and be like, okay, you do this, you do this. Okay, obviously you can't do that. Why are you putting out an 1.5-hour tutorial video with no timestamps and no written pattern? Come on now. Come on now, we gotta do better. Patterns where there's no paragraph or page breaks, like it's just one giant block of text. I feel like this is more common for older patterns or patterns like found in magazines. Like maybe, okay, like an old vintage pattern, girl, I'll let you go. You don't need pictures. I know some people are like, oh my gosh, there's not even any pictures. Like, okay, I understand some of the more advanced patterns, the longer patterns, it ain't gonna be no pictures. I'm fine with that. There's like nothing underlined, nothing will be in bold, like literally just a giant block of text. And I'm just like, I think that if you don't host a tester call, you shouldn't even charge for the pattern. I think that's unethical. I think putting out a pattern that has only been seen by your 2 eyes and then charging money, no, absolutely not. Because it's like, no matter how good you think your pattern is, you missed something. You have to, you missed something. And that's why, that's the entire point of a tester call, you know, to have other eyes, you know, catch the things that you missed. You should not be charging for a pattern if you don't host a tester call. Also on the tester calls, there is not a single thing that you can knit and do a proper tester call in 1 week. So some of these designers talking about the testers have to finish their project in a week. Be serious. Like a week is not even nearly enough time for, first of all, the testers to source their materials and then also work through the project and give you good feedback. Like, come on. 7 days. I recently saw, gosh, there was like a big artist that I follow, and they had put out a tester call. Literally the tester call, they were like, oh, testing period is gonna be a week. I literally unfollowed them. I know, sorry, but it made me so upset. It literally made me so upset. I was like, absolutely not. I was like, friend, I can't even follow you no more. You pissed me off too bad. I feel like far too many designers think of tester calls as like either optional or as something, you know, that you just do so that other people can make your item and then you have free pictures to post. And it's like, no, the point of the tester call is so that, you know, when you release the pattern that other people are going to pay for, the mistakes are very minimal because you had other eyes look on it and they were given an ample amount of time to give you feedback and then fix the things that are wrong. If you're not serious about your tester call, then maybe pattern designing isn't for you. Okay, this is another one of me just kind of being annoying and nitpicky and a little bit of a bitch. When you post the pattern in the comments, this also goes for yarn. When you post it on the screen, when you put it in the caption, and then someone comments, what's the pattern? No, friend, don't do that. Like, you know, the terms and conditions, sometimes when you're on a website, you can't accept the terms and conditions until like you scroll through it. And it's like, ain't nobody reading all that, but you have to scroll through it to even accept it. I feel like there should be that equivalent, but on social media. Like, you can't leave a comment until you've read the description or you've read the caption. Me personally, because I try not to be unnecessarily rude, if you comment pattern on any of my posts or you comment something, you know, that I've already posted, I'll just tell you because it's not that serious. But when I see like other people's content and then like I see a comment that's like that's asking them for something that they've already like posted, does that make sense? I'm just like, friend, you gotta read. When the stitch marker falls off in the middle of the project, I used to only use the stitch markers that have like the plastic ones that have the little clips on them because I liked to clip them onto the stitches so that they would stay. But I feel like these little ones with the hoops, especially when I get to the beginning of the row, sometimes it falls off and I don't even notice it. And then like trying to find, you know, where it goes or where it was before, it's kind of annoying. It's literally so annoying, and especially if it's like you have multiple stitch markers on the project. I'm like, what do you mean my stitch marker fell off? Having multiple whips and hating them all. Normally I'll have like 5 whips maybe at a time, and I think the worst thing ever is like when I'm in the mood to just sit and watch something or listen to something and knit, and I'm trying to think of, you know, which whip that I want to start, and I'm like, ugh, low-key all of these, I hate them. That's kind of the place that I'm in right now. I don't have multiple whips and I don't hate this one, but like I'm not super in love, and so I don't know, I'm always like debating, should I start something new knowing that, you know, like that cast on rush is going to disappear very, very quickly, or should I just like thug it out with the whips that I already have? So right now we're thugging it out. I think it's even worse when, like for me personally, when I have a lot of whips and then I hate them all, and it's like, girl, why did you even start it? I'm like, I don't know why I started it either. When you're done knitting but like the project isn't finished, having to weave in the ends or having to seam something, or you know, like the finishing buttons, you know, like the finishing touches that really bring the knit together. I hate, especially when it's a project that I've kind of been dragging my feet on and I finally finish actually knitting it. It's like, I don't even know why you're getting happy. You still have you still got 10 more things you have to do. Kind of like the Italian bind off, and it's like, I hate it because I have to do it. Like, it's a non-negotiable. If I don't do it, I'm gonna be mad at myself. But it's like, these things do not be fun. Like, I'm just here to knit. I don't want to sew on buttons. I definitely don't want to weave in any ends. But it's like, okay, but you don't have no choice. That's really all my knitting pet peeves that I have. Tell me your knitting pet peeves. Tell me which one of my knitting pet peeves was absolutely ridiculous and you're just like, girl, chill out. Anyways, thank you so much for spending time with me, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye.